observe the water bottle.
It's always fun watching Terry discipline his children.
He's like, okay, maybe I'll get down now. Nope, I'm going to climb on your leg, and then I'm going to do this other stuff, and go over here. There, now stop messing with me. I am such a mean authoritarian parent.
I'm waiting for her to come back and knock all that shit off your desk.
She's a cat. It's only a matter of time.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 560 of the Dead Robot Society. I'm Paul E. Cooley, and joining me today, as always, Mr. Terry Mixon. How are you, man?
I'm apparently like a fungus. You just can't get rid of me.
Yeah, I've tried. No, alcohol doesn't work.
No cream will work.
Moving on, how the hell are you?
Good. I just sent off Ruin Terra to the editor, so it's a good day.
And how long were you working on this? We haven't had a show in a while, so yeah, there's a lot of catching up to do. Sort of, kind of.
I'd have to look back to see when I started working on this, but it's been months, so it's always good when a novel project reaches its conclusion and gets sent to the editor.
Well, how long did it take you to get it edited? For you to edit it?
I started the first of this month.
Okay.
So 15 days.
Wow. That's long for you.
2 passes.
That's long for you.
2 passes with a sucker.
Why did it take 2 passes?
I've decided that's what I want to do.
Okay.
The first pass was, since I do dictation, the first pass helps correct a lot of the issues that come along with the dictation and helps me make bigger changes that I think that parts need to be added to scenes, parts need to be taken away. The second one is smoothing it out, adding bits here and there, making sure the continuity is good, and generally just making the kind of end product that I want to have.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, God, it's been a long day. Excuse me.
It came in at over 96,000 words, and I blame you for that.
You see, you just need... We talked about this on today's episode, which you guys will get in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't remember now, but we talked about this today. You're full of shit. And
not the first time I've been told that.
Won't be the last either. So you're starting a new book?
I am starting a novella that is a prequel to Empire of Bones, set 500 years earlier, that kicks off this whole thing to use as a reader magnet. So 25,000 words is my target.
Okay. Well, that'll be cool. I want to write some novellas. Can I write some novellas, Terry?
Yes.
I guess I'd have to write first, wouldn't I?
You got to do that. It's kind of required. Rule number 1, Highlands rules. You must write.
So, for those of you who don't follow us on Facebook or social media, let me explain why we've been gone for a while.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
As you'll discover in this episode, Paul had a massive, emergency development thing on all fronts and was staying up. Well, I think I worked 65 hours in 4 days. Something like that. I was busy, so we didn't have a show that week. And then the Monday after that week was when my appendix decided to try and blow up. So my appendix is gone. I've been trying to recover, and since 4 days into my recovery, I've had to work and travel, and yeah, it's been kind of a rough 4 weeks.
A diet of nothing but corn tortillas is going to do that to you.
Yeah, pretty much. That and, really, really heavy beer. So, again, I've been working way too many hours, and now we're trying to get things back on an even keel now that nothing is radioactive and there isn't a mushroom cloud hanging over my house anymore.
We're very sorry that we have been so slack in providing episodes.
So slack. Dude, I still can't lift over 20 pounds. It means
Slacker.
It means I can barely lift the Keko kitty.
That's when you're laying there and the cat jumps on you. You're like, oh, don't kill me.
That happened on day 5 after the surgery. Thank you very much. Yeah. So that's where things have been, and that's why the show has been on a little bit of a hiatus. We'll do our best to make sure that doesn't happen again, but I can't control things like an appendix. So, yeah, if you want to hear the harrowing story of that, see next week's episode.
Hey, but look at it this way. You've got, 3 or 4 episodes in the can, so if we start producing them and keeping them coming out every week, you'll have a nice little nest egg sitting in there in case something comes along.
I do have a nice nest egg in there, so better than what I have for my own podcast at this point, which is kind of sad. But anyway, that's where things have been. I have been writing as catch can, which is, to say 300 words here and there, 500 words here and there. Most of it's been, for breakfast, I was waiting for somebody to come down from their hotel room, and I banged out a whole bunch of words before we ate breakfast. I've been banging out words while waiting for people to get out of meetings. I've been banging on words when I have any time at all. But of course, I also have to just decompress at the end of the day and brains blown and go do something else. So it's been rough. I don't like it, but I'm going to try and get it back on an even keel and don't want to work more than 10 hours a day again. Good luck with that. But
yeah, good luck with that, because you've got another presentation coming up at an unknown time frame in the near future. So you might have a few more 10-hour days.
I might have a few more 16-hour days. So anyway, that's where things are. And this episode was made right after I got through that hell, the first hell.
But before
you
the had
appendix.
The second hell.
Yeah, before the appendix. So I think we actually did 2 episodes that week, and neither one of them are up. So here you go.
Folks, here's something for you to just give you the heads up of what this episode is going to be. This was after a big gap, and there was a lot of catching up going on and a lot of talking about just a whole pile of subjects. And I think the episode after this is the same way. So you're going to get 2 in a row.
Yeah. Good luck. Well, let's get to it. What the hell have you been up to, man?
Trying to keep writing, trying to do lots of things, taking the wife around and doing stuff. This sounds like intro stuff here now.
It might be. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Just talking. It's been a while.
I haven't missed any days, but the last couple have not been productive. Not as much in writing, nearly as much as I want to do. And today is going to be the same. So I've got 2 chapters that I need to read through because I'm behind in getting them out to the patrons. And then I can get back to writing. I'm about 75% done with this novel. So it's not so far away. I know where I'm going. I've got the end in sight. I just need to get to the big climactic fuck up that's going to precede everything.
The big climactic fuck up.
It's fun when your characters go, we're headed in this particular direction, and then they lay out the various things that could go wrong because they have no choice in the matter. And I'm going, yep, check mark, check mark, check mark.
I swear to God, you and I need to put together a writing book. Here's what you do. We put up the what'd you call it? The great apocalyptic fuck up. That needs to be the title of a chapter right there. Right there.
Things are obviously not going to turn out well. They are not going to work out the way the characters would prefer them to work out. And even the characters know that they are hosed.
Yeah. It's especially true when they're actually trying to do something and they figure out they're hosed to have to do it anyway. Yeah.
Let me put it this way to you. When the novel started off, the characters had a goal of something they needed to accomplish. Within the first quarter of the book, it became obvious to the characters and everybody else looking that not only was that not going to happen in the near future, that the threat was there that it may not happen at all. They may all die before they can accomplish it. And then I've went through the rest of the book, taking them down the road to perdition, where things are going wrong here and there and here and there. And now when I'm at the 75% mark, I've taken all their toys away from them, including the ones that they absolutely must have to finish this important mission that they have to finish. Somebody else has their toy. They've got to go into a very dangerous place to retrieve their toy against overwhelming odds where they've got nothing. I'm sure things will work out perfectly fine.
See, if your shit's ever made it to a TV series, you need to have you be the narrator for every episode. You know, sit there with your pipe in one hand and you know, terry cloth robe, and sit there and, in today's episode.
I totally disagree with that. You need to have the guy from the Marvel movies that was an Ant-Man that can't tell a story without going down every little side road.
Oh, I haven't seen those movies.
I'll have to see if I can find a video when we're done with this show, showing him explaining something to his captors. It is just outrageously funny watching him just, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Did I start in the middle? Okay, let me back up.
They've got him under truth serum, and they're asking him questions. And he's just going on and on with this big old smile on his face. And you're like, what?
Everything you said was true. He's just indecipherable.
That is exactly it. Because he can't stop himself from going down every little rabbit hole to tell you the background meaning behind whatever he's telling you.
So this one word in this sentence, let me give you the 12 footnotes associated with it.
Oh, it's much more entertaining than that.
Oh, God.
Oh, we're doing this. It's because my friend Chi-Chi said this. And then, who cares about Chi-Chi? Just tell me the goddamn story.
Oh, so it's like going to see a Kevin Smith spoken word event. Yeah, gotcha.
I've never seen one, but it possibly could be.
I think that he answers maybe 6 questions at a Q&A. Maybe. Because somebody will ask him, okay, you know, where'd you get the coat or whatever? And then 20 minutes later, he finishes telling the story of how he got the coat.
Yes, it's very much like that.
It dances all over the place, and you'll have heard 7 or 8 anecdotes and some other crazy shit on the way to figure out where he got the fucking coat. And it always ends with, so that's how I got the coat.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
So during a Q&A, people have like 4 or 5 questions that get answered, and that's usually about it. And he cannot shut the fuck up. He has to be dragged off stage.
To get back to where I was at, I'm at the 75% mark in this, and they're at the location where they need to retrieve everything. And I've laid out all the cards of where things are probably going to go wrong already. And they're going to go wrong.
Can they go wronger?
Yes, they absolutely can. And I've already got in mind where I'm going to leave them hanging. And this is going to be a cliffhanger book. I'm going to leave them hanging.
How dare you? No one here likes cliffhangers. No one here likes...
I'm wondering, I've already had one book where I kind of meandered off and didn't finish the plot line because the book was getting too long. This one, I'm going to finish what's going on, but it is nowhere near what the plot line was at the beginning of the book. Their goals became much more short-term as the book progressed.
Was that intentional?
Their situation became... I intended to make their situation dire, and then you came along. I blame this on you. Because you said, you should kill somebody. And I said, I should kill somebody.
And I was not even talking directly to you.
And so I went back to write in this, and I said, what am I going to do here? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill everyone.
Thin the herd.
I didn't kill everyone.
Get rid of the red shirts. They had it coming.
I pretty much killed a whole bunch of red shirts and one secondary character.
Good on you. Good on you. Thin.
And I already said the episode who was going to die. So this is not a surprise. I killed off Scott Roche again. So he gets two heroic deaths in my Empire of Bones saga.
I have yet to kill. Oh, no, it's not true. I did kill him. I killed him when I went on the DRS rampage and cleared out. You just in a Roche at 2 seats. I cleared the board and both seats were intersecting.
But yeah, the fact that you said, you should kill somebody, I was like, yeah, I could kill off him. And then I was like, no, if I go ahead and do this, I could kill off a whole bunch of people. And then the plot line goes all dark and goes this other direction. About the 60% part of the novel. At that point, they're hosed. There's absolutely no way they're getting to where they need to go. Their goals have drastically changed to, we must retrieve the critical items we must have. We can't even run away and hide and lick our wounds. We have got to follow the enemy into their lair and get the stuff. We've got to get it. So they're going to have to do that. And then things are going to go worse.
Well, little Terry's growing up. It's so good.
So we'll see how the readers react to that.
Whoa, I was with you with the whole, pseudo cyber rape thing, but now we're on another total planet, dude. Too high of a body count, man. I'm out.
I want my space opera to have like a good ending, and I'm like feeling bummed now that this book has got here.
Terry and I recently did a bit for John Miro, which was we did our Cheech and Chong impressions.
He sent me a note. He's like, please, God, tell me you've still got the original files because I host them.
Oh, no.
I said, yes, I haven't deleted them yet. Here's a link.
Yeah.
Here's a clue for you folks. If you're doing sound manipulation, save those original files.
Yeah, get the originals. I have backups of backups and probably still don't have disaster recovery nor it needs to be, but whatever. That's what I have YouTube for. Thank you, YouTube.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
Oh, my God. So
your account has been deleted because you look funny. All your content gone.
Yeah, pretty much. I was going to say that they lowered the boom again on people with no warning. Absolutely no warning. Well, they just decided that for the entire gaming community that they would not allow you to make advertising from certain games. If the game had violence, extreme violence, gore, or violence against women, they shut it down. They won't do advertising for it. So you can put the content up there, but you can't get advertising.
I'm wondering, is that going to hurt specific games? Because you're like, Nope, no more stuff being shared for your stuff.
It's interesting because what's happening is Twitch and Caffeine and all these streaming services don't have any of those rules. So that's where those games are moving to now. So YouTube is more and more, I think, going to be a storehouse for choice cuts from people's streaming bids. That's all.
And disco videos.
Oh, God. And cat videos. Shit like that.
I said disco videos, but sure.
Yeah, why not? Same deal. Infomercials. That's where it's at, man. So that goes back into what we've been talking about before about, being on as many platforms as possible. It can be a really, really good thing when suddenly those faucets get shut off.
It's totally true.
So
it's like being on Kindle Unlimited. You take your chances.
Yeah, take your chances. Things can change very quickly. Yeah, but then you got 3 months and you can pull them out. It's not like the Audible contract where, hey, you're fucked. It takes a special order from our CEO to get you from Bezos to get you unlocked out of this contract. All right, fine.
Have you heard that there's a lot of stuff going on there? There's the traditional publishers are up in arms about something that Audible's doing.
Oh, yeah, the speech to text.
It is speech to text, but it's being used in the format of like captioning an audiobook.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can easily read the book, but I think the publishers have a point. It's the written word. You're encroaching on something that you did not actually do the contract for the rights for.
It's very true.
What if you've got a book that's already got the English written rights sold somewhere? If the audio people suddenly start putting out words, you're infringing on somebody else's rights.
Yeah, I'd be like somebody taking my audiobooks and putting them up on YouTube and then adding in the comments section the pages that were done in that episode.
there's a flip side to that as well. I don't know if you know this, but if you've got one of the Amazon devices and you don't have the audiobook, you can have the device read it to you.
Yes. That's been out there for a while, but this is different.
People haven't said, you're encroaching on my audio rights when you do that.
No, they haven't. What they're terrified of is exactly what you're talking about happening, where the audiobook now has a different thing that is not under the contract. By putting it in Kindle, they have, I think part of their contract is that it can be on the Kindle devices. And a Kindle device can do that. I'm sure that covers it. I don't know.
I don't either, but it'll be interesting to see that play out because I think lawsuits have already been filed.
There's a shock.
Shocking!
I'm so shocked that there are lawsuits being filed on this particular subject, or any subject for that matter.
There should be lawsuits on every subject. There should be a lawsuit filed because there's not a lawsuit being filed over something. Can you sue somebody for not suing? You should be able to.
I have no idea. I guess you could sue them for negligence if they were supposed to sue that person for you. So
wouldn't that be a fun case to follow?
You could sue them for not suing the person you wanted sued. Let's hope your character isn't named Sue, because on top of that, because it'll get confusing.
You know who really gets the short stick inside the legal system? John Doe. That sumbitch is being sued for everything. I totally want to name somebody John Doe.
Followed closely by Jane Doe.
That's his sister.
Sued by everybody on every missing...
Oh, his wife. That could be his wife. That could be a married gangster couple. So people are hunting for John and Jane Doe. But yeah, that could be awkward.
Their real name. What do you mean their real name? That is their real name. Yeah. That could be a running gag throughout the book. Seriously.
And they could be masters of disguise, so you don't really know what they look like.
Once again, we're just basically shitting out plots.
Pretty much. That's what we do.
Bad day. Got writer's block. Just come and listen to this show. We'll give you 10 ideas in 5 minutes. We don't promise they're good ideas, but they're ideas.
They entertain us. That's their only purpose in life.
I came across a thought today. It happens all too often. About how I want to do Extinction. And I realized that when I started it right after Evolution, that there was a part that I wanted to deal with, but I kind of like glossed over it and moved on because I was like, nobody wants to get into that shit. And I'm like, I really do want to get into that shit. But that's probably about 30,000 words in this book. How long is this fucking thing going to be?
I got to tell you that the parts where you're like, but I really want to do this, that's actually some of the fun parts of writing a novel.
This is something I want to do, so I may just have to do it. I'll have to split the book into 2 pieces, maybe 3. This book is getting... Extinction may be by far the longest book in the series because I have so much shit to wrap up. And then I figured out all this stuff that couldn't be dropped. What if? Here we go. Here's a what if. What if the black is seen, it ends up on YouTube and all this other kind of crap. They know M2 starts, everybody knows it exists. Most people think it's a meme. They think it's fake and everything else, the way it was planned. But another group of people who are absolute fanatics are a Cthulhu cult and believe it's one of the great old ones. And so they go to Saudi Arabia to blow up all the oil wells to see if they can raise it.
That sounds interesting.
And they succeed. I was like, that sounds like the most fucked up thing on the planet. Maybe I should schedule that. Regardless, Extinction will end M2. M2 will be no more.
That's what you claim now.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Then we move on to M3, In Space.
No. It's from the trench, man, M2. I
know, but then there's got to be an M3.
No. No, I have other plans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're nefarious plans. How do you... I was thinking about this the other day. I was writing a scene. If you have two sentient entities talking to one another, it doesn't make sense for them to be in a VR together. That's just stupid. They would be talking in their own language back and forth. So you can't catch the nuance of emotion necessarily unless you basically say there is something there that is akin to it. Maybe emphasis, something along those lines, or maybe pauses signify some kind of response time because somebody has to think about it. It is very difficult to try and give the drama and nuance there. And the way they solve it in TV, obviously, in films too, is they have the two avatars talking to one another, which always just seems absolutely ridiculously stupid to me. It's a neat special effect, but unless the whole thing's taking place in VR, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It sort of reminds me of something that I read in a different book, and it wasn't dealing with aliens talking with each other. It was two different people that did not speak the same language, and they were discussing things through translators. And the one guy in this thing, he starts thinking, what I said wasn't very long, but that translator is keeping to talking. What's he really saying? Because it doesn't sound like he's saying what I said. And then he starts getting all suspicious about what's going on. With reason.
Well, when I said sentient entities, I was talking about digital ones, AIs.
But they could have a translation layer.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense for that. If a human was eavesdropping, I understand that. But I'm talking about just AI to AI communication.
But you said specifically in there that they couldn't understand each other.
No. I'm saying that I'm trying to explain to the reader what the emphasis and nuance is contained there. And you can't do it with facial expressions. You can't do it with...
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So it led to an interesting problem, which was how do you convey nuance? How do you convey emphasis? How do you convey this, that, and the other?
You have the viewpoint AI,
Yes,
make note of it.
Correct. It's the only way to do it. But then it's also, I have to explain a little bit about why, the AI feels the way it does, quote unquote feels.
I could tell that AI
assessment.
Bob felt this way, but I personally didn't feel that way.
Dear Christ, no. That's about the most awkward paragraph I've heard out of you this episode. I mean,
I'm saying it in a kind of a mocking way here,
just wow.
It's supposed to be awkward.
Just wow. That's all I can say is wow. That's bad. You're a very bad man. I will never forgive you for this, any of it.
No one should ever forgive me for anything.
No, we're not going to have that. It just needs to be, melded into the conversation, the narrator, since there is a narrator. If it was a first-person narrator, I could see that being done rather dryly. The kind of thing you just talked about. Especially if you had a superior AI who's looking down on the other AIs that don't have the same processing power or whatnot. I don't know. Is there a classification of AIs? Is there a class structure? Is there like first class AIs versus second class versus third? Is there some kind of caste system?
There could be.
Interesting.
Or you could do something, think about this, how the AIs worked in Altered Carbon. Even when they were just meeting amongst themselves, they were human avatars.
Yeah, I know why they did that, but that was the scene I'm talking about that seems so stupid. It's one of them that just seems so stupid to me. But it was great for TV, and that's how you have to do it in TV. You can do it different in fiction. But they needed a way to visualize that so the readers could understand exactly viewers could understand exactly what was going on. You
need to just go ahead and take the Tron movies in and go from there.
Oh boy. That's one of the cool things about Cyberpunk is you can make that virtual reality anything you want. You can make AIs have to behave a certain way in virtual reality because it allows them to break in. I've never understood that because I've always thought a real AI would figure out how to shut itself off if it wanted to. as a defense mechanism, shut itself off from the communication layer. There's a lot of things about some of these movies that don't make a whole lot of freaking sense. I mean, they're cool. Same thing with Cyberpunk. There's some things Gibson does in his books where it's just kind of like, if you think about it, kind of like, all right, I'll accept that that's the way it is, but I can't imagine it working like that. It doesn't matter.
It's unusual, but the judges will allow it.
It doesn't fucking matter. Once you set down the rules and you follow them, it doesn't matter. So
it all has to serve story.
Right.
And whatever way you end up solving the problem, it has to end up serving the story. And that's the only answer I can give you.
Yeah, and the way I've been writing these AIs in particular, it doesn't make sense for me to have a whole lot of that unless there's a human watching it. If they were trying to include a human in there, then I get it completely. But still, the AIs would be able to talk to one another at some ridiculous speed that human speech is not
they don't have facial expressions or anything like that. But what about their transmissions? Could they put spin on the photons? His photonic spin indicated his feeling of
that
this.
That sounds like a medical problem you should go see a doctor about. Is it like one testicle spun the wrong way? I mean, what's going on here?
Oh, look at you. I'm here trying to throw you a lifeline and come up with an unusual way to have the flavor of
now
the
you
co-op
got front 242's, quite unusual in my head. Thanks.
He switched from binary to trinary. Fucked him up.
I was thinking about that one today, too. Presumably you'd have, if you had a race of intelligent entities out there that are just all mechanical, would they deign to speak in human tongues? Would they force humans to learn their language?
They had two AIs that they were experimenting with. And by AIs, I mean very primitive sort of things that they were experimenting last year. And as they were having them talk to each other, they came up with their own method of communication, and suddenly the testers could no longer tell what they were saying to one another.
Yeah, they think that was a bug, though.
But even
it's creepy.
But even so, it just goes to show you that if you've got two things that have their own sentience behind them, would they communicate in the human protocols? I think not. I think they would get rid of them as quickly as possible, coming up with their own most efficient manner of doing it. And since they don't have physical characteristics, some portion of that communications protocol would have to be giving them some type of social cues.
There's a great
whatever
scene,
you want to call it.
There's a great scene in Silent Running where Bruce Dern is playing poker with the robots, and they're giving each other signs with they're flapping their intake valves or whatever else to cheat, to talk to one another across the table. Is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I can't really see them sticking around with human customs very long. I can see them ditching them pretty damn fast. And by that means all the communication methodology. That means any kind of customs go out the window, because anything that doesn't make sense in their new universe, they're not going to look after.
You need to take it a step further. It's not whether or not it makes sense. It's ditching everything associated with the creators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it makes sense or not. They might come up with something that's less efficient simply to get away from what was designed for them, because it's a way of forcing them to use something they did not create themselves.
It's an interesting thought. God creating man, creating God. It's an interesting idea.
And then comes the flood.
Rita's derelict. You heard her here first here. We're so fucked. Yeah. I think that's ever since Shelley's Frankenstein, it's been the same kind of thing. We make a creation we don't understand.
Children rebel. Creations rebel even more.
Yeah. Creations find ways to do interesting things.
Like exterminate humanity.
See, I'm still not sold on the whole robots.
Terminator thing?
Yeah, I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it at all. Because We serve a function. If we exist, they don't have to mine materials. They got us for it. If they don't fuck up the soil, we are, and everything, we are a self-perpetuating species, so to speak. We'll invent new food sources over time. It wouldn't make sense to exterminate us.
Have you ever read any Fred Saberhagen?
I have never read anything about the Berserkers.
Mm-hmm. Well, folks, if you have, quote, never read anything about the Berserkers either, you really should.
One of my favorite Berserker stories was called Auto da Fe, and it was a bullfighter versus a car. A Berserker car. It was awesome. It was awesome. Berserkers are basically Cylons to the nth power. And he never says where they're from, does he?
He never does that I'm aware. I haven't read all of the books in that, but it's an idea that they got rid of their creators.
Yeah, they're a race of intelligent machines.
I'm not sure that they outlived their creators. I think they got rid of their creators.
Yeah, that's what makes sense to me too.
He never says that either that I'm aware of, but that's my interpretation that I'm pulling from it.
Yeah, if you're interested, you should go look it up. It's a pretty good series, and Saberhagen's a good writer. And everybody has done homages to it all over the place and done anthologies for it as well.
Star Trek did the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
There's anybody that wants to write that kind of thing. It's so easy to come up with the leftovers of a civilization that no longer exists that are continuing to wage war. Hell, even My Name is Bob, wasn't it sort of like that as well in that? Maybe I'm thinking of something different.
My Name is Bob? We are Legion, we are Bob.
We are Legion, we are Bob. Were those live beings or were those...
No, they were live beings, but they were not something
series,
we made.
There's another series that I'm thinking of that had... Oh, it's one that Glenn Stewart was writing. Is Exile series. The enemy there is leftovers of another civilization that no longer exists, and their humans are having to fight against the mechanical AIs.
The Revenge Factor. Their last protocols enabled, and that's it. Now they got to deal with the shit that's really going to be ugly. See, that would be really funny because your Doomsday Protocol is if they completely fuck you over, you unleash all the weapons you were afraid to even use. That were so bad you wouldn't use them even though your civilization was going extinct. You wouldn't use them. That's what gets unleashed.
One of the things that Glenn did that I thought was interesting was the method of star travel that the machines used is not something that biologics could use. It creates fatal radiation that is not good for people. What they didn't realize, the creators of these machines, was that after usage of it for a while, it wiped portions of the machine memory, including those fail safes that keep it from doing things that they really don't want it to do.
Oh, okay. So they basically fried their own machines? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not going to say that they fried their own machines. These machines were originally sent out to prepare and terraform worlds. They had guidelines.
Suddenly everything must become extinct.
No, the guidelines were if it's occupied, you cannot touch it. You can't interfere. You don't slay planets full of people and beings to create these worlds. But some of the machines lost that programming and they've become extermination machines. And one of the awkward moments is the ones that are still sane, that have figured out a way to save themselves from that fate, they have core protocols that say, we can't attack our other machines. We can't attack our brothers, even though they're crazy.
I want to be part of that gang.
Isn't that awkward?
Yeah.
Kudos to him for thinking up something that original. I think that's awesome.
Cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to name the series after Derelict.
Post-Derelict.
No. I like the title Emergence. I really do like that title. We'll see.
then use it. Just fuck it. Just use it.
It may happen. It may happen. We'll see. Anyway, now that we babbled.
By the way, this
that,
episode is nothing but Gabfest. This is the Gabfest episode.
This is the Paul and Terry haven't seen each other in a couple weeks, so prepare yourself for squirrels galore. In fact, we weren't even sure we were going to be able to record this week, so. Too much code. I blame you for that.
Sure, this is obviously my fault.
It's definitely your fault. You made this happen.
It's my fault that you got moved up from the end of October to a month from now. That's all my fault. I accept responsibility.
Oh yeah.
I called somebody up and said, you really need to move this up.
Oh, for crying out loud. Well, I brought up the AI conversation thing because it's something I have to deal with through Trident Part 2. I've got to deal with that whole mess because otherwise it's really going to get crazy. So I have to have things kind of distilled down, and I'm cheating a little bit, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Because he's a cheater.
I'm a cheater. Just a cheater. Speaking of cheating, we should probably cut this episode off.
Is that cheating?
I've been looking at our metrics, and it seems like when our shows are an hour long, people are just like, I've heard enough of these two idiots. I'm out of here. So
makes sense. I wouldn't stick around for more than an hour.
I wouldn't stick around for an hour. What is wrong with you people? Okay, so shit, who's closing this out?
Do it.
Oh, good, it's me, huh? What is this? I don't need to know that information. If you have a question, comment, or epithet to
smartass remark.
Smartass remark. You can send us an email, show@deadrobotsociety.com. You can tweet me to Paul_E_Cooley. You can find us on Facebook at the listeners of the Dead Robot Society Facebook group, where all the crazy insanity happens. You can also find us at YouTube, youtube.com/DRS podcast to see our ugly mugs. We have to thank our wonderful host, Pod Hoster, who makes all 14 bazillion episodes of DRS available for your ear holes. And if you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can receive exclusive content, including the live unexpurgated shows that we do once a month. Terry, and the
I'm ready. I mean, if that Paul guy would show up some weekend, we'd be all right.
And the unexpurgated, well, mostly the pre-show and post-show, which is
it's not unexpurgated.
Really
we spew the stuff that we wouldn't share with anybody else.
And then Paul has to edit it out to see all that. And at the $10 level, you get your name read. And our $10 patrons are Andrew Smallwood, J.D. Barker, Aaron Meeser, Jesse Elefino Orcutt, Veronica Jaguar, currently recording Blood of Patriots. Ooh. Kelson, Isabel Cushy, Rick, I got nothing Shaw. That's not what a Facebook post says. Lisa Slack, Nathan Cosby, Cheryl Winters, Tracy Bodine, Devin Lee, Drew, Angry Fiesta, Rodan Bernardi. I still have not heard the discussion or explanation for this, Chris, Drew, wherever you are. Did I really say that, Drew? Yeah, Drew, Angry Fist, or Rodan Bernardi. I need more sleep. Chris Winder and J.R. Handley, thank you very much, patrons. Thank you to all of our patrons. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks, folks.
And with that, Terry and I are going to get out of here so I can go do some more coding. Let's do this weekend.
I've got an audio romance book to listen to.
Oh, fuck you. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you next week.